Welcome back. Our next guest overcame all of the odds on her journey as a young black girl from Arkansas who went on to become Miss America 1990. Now Dr. Debbye Turner Bell is finally putting that journey into print through a book collaboration with Our Daily Bread. We talked about the lessons that she will share in Courageous Faith. Debbye, congratulations on your new book. I know this has been a long time coming, Courageous Faith. What made you want to write this?
Oh my goodness. So this has been literally a 30-year journey.
Wow.
When I was Miss America, as I spoke and just told my story, I talked a lot about how unusual and really against the odds it was that I became Miss America. I'm this little black girl from Arkansas, grew up in a single parent home, lower middle class home, had no connections, no great wealth, wasn't even all that frilly or girly. I wanted to be a veterinarian. So just was not the typical track. And the story is in the book, but by the grace of God, I ended up on the Miss America stage. And as I talked to young people about that you can do anything, you can defy the odds, a lot of people said, you should write a book. And, you know, I just kind of smiled politely for a few years. And then I kind of felt in my heart, maybe I should write a book and, you know, just put it down and hopefully be an inspiration to those who face the kind of odds that I faced and even greater.
Well, it seems like you found the right partnership for the message that you want to share, especially because you have 10 factors for success and also faith-based lessons, right? Maybe what's your favorite one? I know we don't have time for all 10, but what would be one we should take away?
Well, and let me just first say, I call my book, I categorize it as a motivational memoir with a faith message. My faith is the bedrock of my identity, and I'm here and I have what I have because of the grace of God. I make no bones about that. And so that's very clear in the book. But I also wanted it to serve as an inspiration and even in some ways a primer. This is what I overcame. These are the lessons that I learned in going through those difficulties. And I hope that then they will be inspirational and instructional to the reader. So it's things like patience and perseverance, faith, excellence, you know, it goes on and on. Knowing how to fail. The opening chapter really is about failure. And I truly believe this, that every great success is built on a foundation of failure. If you're not willing to try and fail, you're not likely to succeed.
Are you amazed that 30 years later, Miss America 1990, you are still having this impact from Miss America and still reaching people's lives and talking about it? Did you ever imagine when you won that this would be your course?
No, I did not imagine it. In fact, the day after I won, I took a limo ride. It's sort of an iconic limo ride from Atlantic City to New York to do a week of press. And I'll never forget being in the limo, having a realization. Now, I'd competed in the system for 7 years, so I knew the game, I knew how it was played, I knew what that year was going to be like. And I really did think, well, you know, I'll be Miss America for a year, and then I'll go back to veterinary school because I was a senior in vet school at the time, finish my degree and go be a veterinarian. Well, that next morning, there was a headline in the New York Times above the fold about Bess Meyerson, who's a former Miss America, and she was embroiled in a scandal. But the headline read, former Miss America, Bess Meyerson, and then whatever the scandal was. And that's when I realized this is never going away. This will follow me for the rest of my life, because at that time, that was 30, 40 years after she had won her title. And so I began to get an inkling then, but I didn't know how many doors would open, how many opportunities that I'd have to speak, not just to young people, but to business executives and to women about leadership and excellence and influence. And, you know, I thought that wave would go maybe a year or two after my year, and 30 years later, it's still going, and I'm enormously grateful for that.
And you can buy her book now. Grab your copy everywhere that books are sold.